Continuing the conversation on adapting Malaysia's transportation system to the latest advancements in technologies, as the government plans to expand the country's public transport system, there are vital steps to be taken before scaling it further. Transport consultant Wan Agyl Wan Hassan weighs in on the pace of development of the country's transport system.
I think we've been doing a lot of expansion on public transportation system. We are now talking about MRT3 and possibly the high-speed rail discussion with Singapore. But I think the most important question that need to be asked whether there is a reform within this expansion, because Malaysia has made significant strides expanding the public transportation system, in particular for Klang Valley with MRT LRT system. But beyond the expansion, there is a serious systemic issues that continue to plague the transportation infrastructure. We have delays, cost overruns, poor integrations, for example, connectivity issues when it comes to public transport in KL. This is something that we need to pay attention to, and we need to fix the problem before we really consider or even paying serious attention to expansion. Moreover, public transportation development has been uneven. We've been focusing on KL a lot, and perhaps Penang, like secondary city like Penang, Johor Bahru, and Kuching. But there is inequality of development when it comes to rural public transportation system. It creates some sort like what we call it a transport deserts, where there are areas that most needed, which is not connected with public transport. This is mainly the rural areas, right? Rather than simply expanding a public transport network, I think Malaysia need to rethink on how we manage projects. We need to focus on shift towards improving the reliability of the services, enhancing the last mile connectivity. That's very important, because without first mile and last mile connectivity, it is very hard for people to access our public transportation system. It's a taboo issue. We've been talking about it for quite some times, but it's yet to be solved in order to ensure seamless integration between transportation modes. And also, we talk less about TOD, the transport-oriented development. We've been seeing a lot of development happening in KL, but it seems to be isolated and not connected to public transportation infrastructure. So this is going to be bad for traffic congestion, because then you're going to force them to drive, and they will not be easily access our public transportation transit point.